Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Hockey's done. Basketball's done. Baseball is hot in the street. Who's the AL MVP? We got so much ball to yuck. Let's do it.
Clark Schmidt.
Ian Happ.
Not a homers.
Ball was flying out of Wrigley. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. It's a big ep. I feel it. It's June 23rd. Trev, I think you're out on the West Coast. I'm Jake. I'm in New York City. The streets are grimy today. It is hot. It is muggy. It is baseball season. If you hear it in my throat a little bit, hello. Big Fanatics Fest this weekend. A couple good stories from there. Trev, how are you doing? You're in Seattle now.
I'm not going to let you know where I'm at. Okay. Let's just play that game.
Okay.
Carmen, San Diego. I'm doing great. It's also very hot and humid where I'm at, but I'm enjoying it, man. I'm in Minnesota, Jake.
Okay.
How do you not know?
My bad.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I am going to see the Mariners today as they come into town for a 4-game set.
Oh.
And so, yeah, me and Big Dumper are going to get real friendly today.
Twins are on a little bit of a heater.
Yeah, they're correct.
We're going to check in on them. We're going to check in on a lot around the league. Trev, we missed Friday, so you and me, I think we're feeling itchy. It feels like we missed the Dodgers-Padres fighting every day. But we're going to dig in because this was a juicy weekend. And I'll give a quick Fanatic shout out to everyone that came up and said hi and all that stuff. You guys are obviously the best. Just a cool John Boy Media moment. Was hanging out backstage. Bryce Young, QB1 for the Carolina Panthers. I was debating if I should go say hi to him, but I was just going to be like, what are you going to do, Jake? Like, nice football, man.
Yeah, you think he wants that?
No, he doesn't need that. So he walks past, he kind of does a double take, gives it a second, comes up, and he's like, hey, man, just, don't want to interrupt, but just big fan of what you guys do, and blah, blah, blah. Things you missed. He went down, like, the John Boy Media depth charts. He's like, yeah, I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but found you guys, like, 3 years ago and love you. And I was like, damn, Bryce Young. So he's in the club. I told him we're still a Matthew Stafford pod, but no. And that's more so just a thank you to everyone off the rip because Fanatics was pretty cool. They treated us like we were actual famous people, which makes me and Jimmy very uncomfortable. But we had a big weekend. Putting all of that in our rear view. Shout out Bryce Young, but it's time to yuck ball.
Yuck some ball, Jake. Let's go.
And because it's Monday, Trev, we start in the American League with maybe the hottest team in the American League, your Tampa Bay Rays. The offense is clicking, and it did the first 2 games. They put up 14-8. Quick math, 22 runs in the first 2 games. Junior Caminero is racking up the home run totals. Yandy Diaz with a 2-homer game of the dish. The Tigers, they end up salvaging the set behind Riley Green, Wentzeel Perez. You might hear some more Riley Green coming up in a little bit. The Houston Astros, they took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, and that's obvious. Show me your PP, Pena and Paredes. They get it done in that opening game. Ryan Gusto, I just like his name. They win a couple 2-1 run games to win the series against the Angels. Yankees, are they out of their June swoon? It didn't look like it Friday night as they blow the game late, but they come back a 1-hitter to win 9-0 in game 2. And then Jazz Chisholm, big 3-0, 2-run scoring double to help the Yankees take the set against the Orioles. Guardians take 2 out of 3 from the A's, and that's obvious. Jeffrey Springs and Kurtz, Nick get it done in the first game. But then it's all Cleveland the rest of the way. Luis Ortiz with a 10-strikeout start, and Slade Ciccone with 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs to get it done for the Guard Dogs. Blue Jays, White Sox, did you watch? I watched a little bit. White Sox took 2 out of 3. How about those White Sox? I feel like we're seeing a little more of that, not a lot more of that. Who needs love? Andrew Benintendi, sure. Miguel Vargas, Adrian Hauser, Senor Puke. Could he be on your team come the deadline? Barrios was good in their only win. The Seattle Mariners and the Chicago Cubs. Holy smokes, was the ball flying out of Wrigley this weekend in Cal Raleigh. It's time to have a conversation, and we are going to. Home runs, he's in the 30s. It's June. We're not at the halfway point. He is doing historic stuff. Ian Happ is doing Ian Happ things. His numbers are the same numbers he has his whole career. Steady Eddie. The ball was flying out of Wrigley. And the final series in the American League, it's your best Western Road Warriors. The Milwaukee Brewers sweep the Minnesota Twins. It's his mound. He's Jacob Mizorowski. He shoves in game one. Quintana wins in game two. And then the Brewers, the Twins fought late in that final game, a couple buck stops, but the Brewers get it done. They win their fourth straight game, 7-2 in their last 9 games, and they used the same 9 starters in all 3 games. I like that a lot. That's your Best Western Road Warriors. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at bestwestern.com. I need some standings.
Pop, I just missed you talking ball. I got to be honest with you. I got the standings. Yes, I do. Is that you want? I want more?
Some more.
You want some more?
I want some more.
Okay, I got you. We'll start out east with your Yankees. They still have a 2.5 game lead over the Rays, even though the Rays have been playing some of the best ball in all of baseball. Yankees 45-32. Tampa Bay Rays 43-35. I'm gonna cough right now.
Okay.
I needed to.
Well done.
Toronto Blue Jays not too far back either. 4 games back. They're 41-36. The Red Sox 40-39. 1 game over 500. And the Baltimore Orioles 33-44. Then we'll go to the Central, Jake, where the Tigers have just a commanding lead, an 8.5 game lead over the Guardians. They're 49-30 despite losing the series to Tampa. Guardians 39-37, 2 games over 500. The Royals 38-40, my Twins 37-40, and the White Sox 25-53. And then out west, Jake, this is just happening faster and faster and faster. A 5-game lead for the Houston Astros, 45-33 for them. The Mariners 2 games over 500, 39-37. The Texas Rangers 38-40. The Angels 37-40, and the Athletics 32-48 in the wild card. This is where things are going to get crazy. I mean, an 84-win team is going to be the last wild card team in the American League. Tampa Bay Rays are at the top, along with the Blue Jays. They have the top 2 spots in the wild card. The Guardians and the Mariners tied for that last spot. And then, Jake, there is 5 teams all within 2.5 games of that last spot, including the Twins and the Angels at 37-40. Red Sox half game back. Royals, Rangers 2 games back. And then I mentioned the A's and the Twins. So that one's going to come down to it. And some team that isn't that great is going to make the playoffs in the American League. And we saw how that went in 2023 with the Diamondbacks. Those are the standings in the American League.
Thank you, Coach Trev. Yeah, it's the AL's going to be a beautiful disaster.
Some 84-win team is going to run the playoffs.
And then you could be, if it's the Texas Rangers, like here's DeGrom. If it's the Red Sox, here's that whole offense. The Royals, Mariners, Guardians. It's going to be a bloodbath. What's that?
Did you say Twins?
Yeah, we talked about them. They got the Road Warrior segment. Brewers.
You want to start there?
Not really, but
to say about this series, none of them are about the Twins.
No. Let's bottle it up. I'm sorry. I guess it's about the Brewers then, I'd assume, or is it about the broadcast booth?
I said, yeah, this is about the Brewers, not the Twins.
We want to start with a topic, Trev. We said when there are topics, we want to bring it to the people while covering ball. And there's a reason I moved the Mariners-Cubs series up to the American League. Because what Cal Raleigh does deserves to be talked off the rip. Cal Raleigh hit his MLB leading 31st home run, is on pace for 66. My God, he passed Mickey Mantle, Jose Ramirez, and Lance Berkman for most home runs by a switch hitter before the All-Star break. He joined Ken Griffey Jr. as the only Mariners player to hit 30 before the All-Star break. By the way, the All-Star break's in 4 weeks? So all of these are before that. There's now a conversation in the American League that Aaron Judge was supposedly, best right-handed hitter ever. He was going to walk away with the MVP. I think if you go to DraftKings and look at the odds, they're still a little silly. They're a little less silly because what Cal Raleigh doing, especially from the catcher position, Trev, is unbelievable.
Can we get, Robbo, can you go get those DraftKings odds? I'm very curious as to what those are. And yeah, I mean, look, there's nobody like Cal Raleigh in the show right now. Talking about a guy who loves to catch, is behind the plate a ton, and doing the things that he's doing offensively. And, I hate bringing this up, but can he withstand that? Like catching every day and going out there and hitting, because that's been the toughest thing. You talk to catchers, it's just wear and tear on your body. In the squatting position, taking foul tips, having to block balls, having to worry about the pitching staff, all these things that get added on to his plate that most other positions just do not have. Like, yeah, you got to go play defense, but it's just a completely different physical game for a catcher. So far, I mean, he's a big body dude, has not affected him whatsoever. And I think that's probably the most impressive thing about this. Look, yes, the offensive numbers on themselves by themselves are great. One dotting it, all those home runs you talk about. But the real magic here is he's doing this as a catcher.
And I guess that's the fun baseball bar combo with your buddies is, again, like WAR, Aaron Judge still has him. A lot of, batting average, Judge is hitting 367 right now. Judge minus 2,000 on DraftKings. Bobo just put it up with Cal Raleigh at plus 550. I think this just opens up a beautiful baseball conversation of, okay, let's say both guys keep this pace up and Cal Raleigh hits 60 homers and Judge hits 55, but he clears them in batting average, on base. Like he has a better offensive statistical season all around. Like, where does that boundary land between doing it as a catcher and doing it as a right fielder?
And this goes into the age-old debate of like value and what you mean to your team. But both these guys are the centerpiece of their offense. So I don't think that really comes into play here. The Yankees without Judge they're not in first place. The Mariners without Cal Raleigh are probably 10 games under 500. So, I think that's also a wash in this. And if the numbers keep up the way they are right here, Judge is still ahead in the majority of categories. So I think you would continue to look at Judge as the leader. That's why the numbers are what they are at the DraftKings Sportsbook, minus 2,000. I mean, a 468 on base percentage is absolutely crazy. And then, you talk about the batting average, all of that. Like he's winning in the numbers I think that most people look at. The home runs, great. Judge does that as well. He's not going to be too far behind Cal Raleigh. So that's the only thing you could really think of. Yeah, if Cal goes and hits 60 as a catcher, it's pretty nuts. But again, Judge is going to be right behind him. So I still think Cal has a long way to go to jump Aaron Judge as far as MVP votes.
Yeah, and I don't know if this surprises people or doesn't surprise people, but for me, I would take WAR off the page for these two. Just because what you said about catcher, I don't know if we're valuing that properly. I know for the Yankees, it's a big deal when they're like, hey, Judge is going to DH. We're going to get him off his feet today. What's Cal doing? Just go get beat up. Here's a Logan Gilbert ball in the dirt. Block it with your shoulder. I would throw the WAR out at the end of the year.
Even if you throw the WAR out, though, I mean, you're still looking at these numbers right now, and Judge's.
Right. I mean, the OPS is almost still not 200 points higher, but like a
150.
150, which that is significant.
1.042 for him, Judge 1.195.
If you had to cast a vote today at season ended, would you go Judge or Cal Raleigh?
I'm going Judge still, but I mean, it's not a knock on Cal, and obviously it's been very, very impressive. I just think, the start the Judge has gotten off to is also unprecedented. So I think they're both doing great things. Judge the numbers are overwhelming, man. They really, really are.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think if you had to cast a ballot as of today, it's Judge. Almost though with the catcher theory, if these guys both just doubled, the rest of the way, and this might sound dumb, I think I would lean Cal Raleigh, but he's also on pace for 66 homers.
Through a full season, you're going to say, okay, if he continues this as a catcher,
Yes.
that's going to impress you.
I think so.
I'm with you, man. Like I truly do understand and take into consideration what that position does to your body. I mean, you just talk to anybody that's played that position, and you understand what they go through. And again, they're not just having to go to the hitters meetings. They got to go run the pitchers meeting as well, and call pitches and make sure that 13 dudes are happy. Like they're almost like they're another coach as well. Maybe I'm changing my mind. I don't know, man.
Okay.
I still think Judge, with what he's done to start the year, has my vote, but I guess that's why we're talking about it, Jake. It's pretty good. I bet you in the comment section there's going to be some very fueled and heated debate about this. Because I mean, if someone was like, "Yeah, let's give it to Cal," I wouldn't bat an eye necessarily, but I also say it's probably unfair to Judge. It's almost judge fatigue-ish.
Ooh, nice, Trev.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Judge is looking to become the third player to ever record multiple 60-homer seasons. It's Sosa and McGuire, and, we know what those guys are connected to. Only 4 players have ever recorded 50-plus homers and 350 batting averages. The Babe, Hack Wilson, Jimmy Fox, and Mickey Mantle. And meanwhile, the Cal Raleigh thing, the catcher, it just can't be overlooked. There's only, with his 30th homer, he joins Mike Piazza, Johnny Bench, and Roy Campanella as the only catchers in MLB history with 3 or more 30-homer seasons. Cal Raleigh is peaking. It's also June, and he just joined that club. That guys don't do this. I guess maybe that's my final statement for both of it. Guys don't do this for either of them, and that's what makes it special.
So they have been a little bit more cautious with Cal. I'm looking right now at the appearances. 58 games at catcher, 17 at DH. The last 2 years, 23 and 24, he had 15 games at DH, 19 games at DH in those respective years. So they are trying to get him off his feet a little bit more, and maybe that's what's helped. But still, that he's catching a majority of the baseball games. He's still going through all the things I'm talking about. It's very, very impressive. But whatever they're doing, and again, Dan Wilson, former catcher, he understands more than anybody. Whatever they're doing, continue this pace is the right recipe right here.
Yeah, and I mean, they can't, day game after a night game, the Mariners can't afford to just sit Cal Raleigh, and I don't think he wants to sit. So, you're not going to find a lot of guys that can use that DH spot better around baseball right now. And man, he had a weekend in Wrigley. Everyone kind of had a weekend in Wrigley. The ball.
Ooh, I got something here.
What do you got?
The Wrigley ball was going. If you got something you want me to ask Cal, like if you're a Mariners fan, you got a burning question, I'm going to be around him. I'm going to ask him. I'll go check him out. He'll probably look at me and say, "You 24 homers is your high? What a loser." I did that through May.
He probably will think that. Hey, you probably shouldn't bring this up to Cal Raleigh. 9 stolen bases, more than Judge. What's that about?
Oh,
holy smokes. Big dumper. All right. I like that. That was ball talk. That's what we do.
A little bit of ball talk right there. So still, I love Judge. How about that, Yankees fans? You always say I hate on Judge. I voted for Judge.
Trev, I'll let you. Why don't you get your Brewers Twins thoughts in now?
You need to hear it.
I need to hear it.
We gloss over the Brewers a lot, and we speak in generalities about them because they're true. But seeing it firsthand, they came and crushed the Twins. The Twins there's some injuries there, and the depth in the roster is not great. That's just the brunt of it. But the Brewers came in and put an absolute clinic. The scores are like misleading of how they played ball. Like they scored all those runs in the first 2 games without hitting a home run, dude.
Yeah.
Without hitting a homer. They took more extra bases. They ran the bases better than any team I've ever seen in my life. That's not exaggerating. I've seen a lot of teams run the bases. This example through this series was every single extra base they could take, they took. Everybody was looking to steal bases. I'm talking they're up 5 runs, and Yelly is on second base, and Wilson Contreras on first base. They're looking to double steal. They are going. It is. We talk about like pedal to the metal type teams. Like this is what the Brewers were specifically this weekend, and it's what they're built to do. It's how they're supposed to play the game. That's why Pat Murphy was getting so mad early on in the season and benching Sal Frelick and having team closed door meetings, because this is a team. He knows that they have to play like this, and they did. Man, it was honestly. It was crazy. It was about as perfect a series as they could play. Their 7, 8, 9 hitters went off, but to me, it was the base running. They made the Twins look horrible. The Twins base running comparatively is brutal compared to the Brewers. Brutal compared to the Brewers. That's basically the gist of it. And then yes, Jacob Mizorowski is unbelievable. He is. I don't want to say this yet.
Okay.
Give me a couple more starts, and there's a very prominent pitcher that pitches in the NL Central that wears black and gold. There's not too much of a difference between those two guys. Like there's something very, very special about this young man right here.
Yeah. Mizorowski's four-seam fastball is averaging 99.6, touched 102. If you like the freaks, God, his throwing motion looks pretty natural too. Man.
He looks great, and the knock on him is, can he locate? And he was spot on all freaking game, dude. That's the only reason he gave up a walk and Wallner pumped him is because the half inning before, he was sitting on the bench for 20 minutes as the Brewers were just doing whatever they wanted offensively. So
they 6-7. The changeup sitting at 93. So yeah, if you're someone that watches baseball for the freaks, or maybe that's why you watch me and Trev, Mizorowski's there, and yeah, man, it's so Brewers, and I know that sounds like a cop out, but we've got Chiriot, international signing. We've got Isaac Collins, Rule 5 draft from the Rockies. Like what? Quintana, any team could have had him. So it's on every front. And yeah, it seems like our coaches, when he was just being a dick early on in the season and treating them like a college team, it's kind of paying off. The Brewers are in it, and they're in it in the Central, Trev. Like they're 3.5 back. Like the Cubbies need to be careful. Okay. Hey, man, I think if there's one other AL team that really needs a lot of love that we've I don't want to say we've been missing, because we don't miss. I mean, come on. But the Tampa Bay Rays, Trev, I was shocked because I shouldn't say shocked, but just since May 20th, the Tampa Bay Rays offense, first in runs, first in on-base percentage, second in homers behind the Mets. Let's go Mets. Caminero, the breakout has happened. And like the rest of the team, the breakout has happened. That the Tampa Bay Rays have arguably been the best team in baseball for a month.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for the Tigers, they salvaged that last game. But you're right. It's the offense has absolutely come to life with them. You mentioned Caminero. Going into Sunday's game, he was hitting 314, 385, 695 over his last 27 games. Like he's absolutely caught fire. Yandy Diaz going into the last game, he had a 12-game hit streak where he's hitting 471. Brandon Lau had a 10-game hit streak going to the last game. He was hitting 400 during it. I mean, they are just going. A couple wins for them early on in the series. They just scored early and kept the lead, and that's a big recipe for them. We know they have the pitching to get it done as well. So right now they're doing it on both levels. And this is a team that I circled. I said this team could win the AL East. They are definitely in contention for that. Everything is kind of gelled and come together from them. They can play some defense. They can throw the ball. And right now the offense is almost unstoppable. The only thing they started to win at their field. They were bad early on in the year, got better as the year has gone on, but they're only playing 3 more games now, Jake, at home before the All-Star break. It's that whole thing where they're going to start playing the games on the road a lot.
Another just sneaky part of it, Trev. They've only had 6 starting pitchers this season.
Yeah, we've talked about that. They've
one of
been
them,
completely healthy. Yeah,
it was a spot start by Joe Boyle. They've been completely healthy, which there's times when, especially the Rays and their pitching, you sometimes look at the IL and you're like, oh, shoot. And they're supposed to get McClanahan back.
Yeah.
And by the way, we talk about smart organizations when we talk about the Brewers, and the Rays kind of used to lead this conversation. Like Ryan Pepio, who they got for Tyler Glasnow, has been arguably their best starting pitcher.
He's got big old feet. What size shoe do you wear, Pepio?
Like, should that be our TNT TBS like Charles Barkley? What size shoes you got, Pepio? Let's see them feet.
They're big.
Let's see them hooves.
And he's tall too. You know, like Spencer Strider's got big old skis, but I don't know how tall he is. Pepio's like 6'5".
Yeah, listed sex. Hello, listed sex 3.
Okay, 6'3".
Oops. Ryan Pepio. Hey, shout out to
how tall is Kelsey Plum?
Shout out to LSU. Go Tigers. Do you want to tell your story now? I met Bryce Young this weekend. Would you say you met Kelsey Plum?
No, we didn't meet at all, but we walked past each other twice at our hotel. And I was like, that's Kelsey Plum. I know who that is. She's 5'8". I thought she was tall.
Right. WNBA, you're thinking.
She's just a hard-nosed, you know.
She's a dog.
She's a dog.
She's a dog. We just cover everything here.
Yeah.
We're completely different. Trev, I'll be honest. Rest of the AL is a little choppy. I do in Houston and LA. Houston takes 2 out of 3 from LA. The Angels.
It was a fun series. You got a little chippy there, Neto and Brown. That was fun.
Fun series, chippy, and I debated giving him an award, and I'm not. We got a double doobie day. Mauricio Dubon, 2 homers in that final game. And dude, he is just every team should have a Mauricio Dubon, but not every team has a Mauricio Dubon because there's not a lot of them, man. I think he's played 7 positions this year. He hits at a league average, and it's just such a nice thing for a team to have when if someone goes down or someone needs a rest day, you just say, oh, well, put that dude there, and he's going to be fine.
The managers love guys like this. Twins have one in Willie Castro who can move all over the place and just allows so much roster flexibility. And then when you do have games like this and you're able to produce offensively, it's just such a bonus for your team. Yeah, he's awesome. We shouted him out not too long ago because he's a new dad. And so he's getting emotional in post-game interviews and stuff.
Oh, we love that.
It's just gonna happen, okay? But yeah, he's awesome, man. And the Astros, again, they've been playing great ball, taking a commanding lead in that division. But hey, the Angels, like I mentioned, what are they, a half game out or 2 games out of the wild card?
If you're gonna be someone that's hype about the Twins, the Rangers, the Royals, the Angels are a half game back of the Rangers and Royals. They're 37-40, so maybe don't get excited, but
they're getting they have pieces there. Right. Kikuchi with a great start this series. Soriano's been awesome. We know about their young core. They're fiery. I mean, Joe Adell is still hitting really well.
Dude, Joe Adell's happened. People are.
So there's a lot to be excited about there. Christian Walker's starting to go a little bit for the Astros too. So if you're on that side of the fence, I think the Astros feel really good about where they're at, and that's probably stating the obvious here.
Joe Adell, man, baseball's just such a weird sport. He got called up in 2020, played 38 games, and he was this super prospect. He's just kind of been grinding for 6 years, and it feels like the light bulb has gone on, which good for him and good for Halo fans. Hey,
Angels could have won this series. I mean, a wild pitch scores the run in the 10th inning. It was just I think it was a ball that slipped out of his hand, just behind the back of the Astros hitter. But if they take 2 out of 3, I think we're talking about the Angels in a completely different light. It's funny how series do that to us.
What else does stuff to you? Let's keep. Let's go to the National League, and it's brought to you by our friends at Shady Rays. Summer's here, people. You need a pair of sunglasses. Maybe get a handful of them because Shady Rays has everything you're looking for and more. Shady Rays has been a huge part of our company for a while now. They're a massive part of our warehouse games. Personal Jake shades. That's probably, when I'm on my deathbed, I'm going to be like, wow, Shady Rays made Jake sunglasses. That's kind of cool. Okay, Jake, why don't you tell them about the 5-star Sunbows? 300,000 people giving them 5-star reviews. And they've got their lost or broken replacement. So if you don't love your shades, you can exchange for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. So it doesn't get much better than this, people. Oh, wait, it does, because it's 35% off with code TALKIN. Go to shadyrays.com, code TALKIN. Get yourself a pair of sunglasses. Summer's here. What are we doing, people? In the National League, the Philadelphia Phillies take 2 out of 3 from the New York Mets. The Mets at one point, I think, lost 7 games in a row. They break it up in that second game as everyone started homering, including 2 from Juan Soto. Otherwise, it was all Phillies. And some fun ones in this series, including Castellanos with a couple big games and some funny moments. Also, the benching heard around the world. Rob Thomson, we'll talk about it. Hey, speaking of big series, the Boston Red Sox faced Rafael Devers and the San Francisco Giants. We haven't even talked about this yet. I'm getting H, Trev. The Giants, after dropping the first game, and the Red Sox, Don Rafael, I'm talking about him later. The Giants come back, and they take the final 2 games. A big Rafi Devers homer in that second game, and then a costly error by the Red Sox. What's with the Red Sox defense? Crazy, as the Giants rack them up late. The Cincinnati Reds face the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Cardinals take 2 out of 3. They took the first 2 games. A lot of heart, a lot of Midwest heart in this series. Arenado fist pumping. Jordan Walker hustling around the bases. I love it. Andre Palante, all-time name. Cincinnati takes the final game, and Matt McClain back on. He's been balling out lately. Cardinals take 2 out of 3. The Padres, they won 2 out of 3 from the Kansas City Royals after losing that first game. India and Michael Garcia with big games in that infield. So did Bobby Witt. Nice day for the infield. Padres bounce back. Dylan Cease with a nice start. Fernando! Big 3-run homer. And then Jose Iglesias, contact play, walk-off. Padres win. Randy Vasquez. Wow. How do you like that? Dodgers take 2 out of 3 from the Nationals. They outlast Mackenzie Gore in that first game. The Dodgers offense, the knob is starting to come on a little bit, and Max Muncy showed it with 2 homers and 7 RBI in that final game. I know it's been on, but it's coming on even more. And Shohei Ohtani, first strikeout as a Dodger. Yay! Sorry, Luis Garcia Jr. Sorry, Nats fans. Oh, go look at James Wood's stats if you're a baseball person. My goodness. Diamondbacks take 2 out of 3 from the Rockies, so that's almost, I don't want to say disappointing, but a little bit. Just a little bit. Eugenio Suarez, Jesus Christ. 4 for 6, 2 homers. What a sick puppy. Get him on the Yanks. What? Ketel Marte, 4 hits in that second game. But here's Mickey Moniak and Braxton Fulford in the final game. Didn't have him in my book. Just going to be honest. Rockies salvage it. Marlins take 2 out of 3 from the Braves. Braves, what is we doing, baby? And they just couldn't outlast Otto Lopez and Xavier Edwards and Jansen Junk. These fish can fight. I don't know, Braves. Ronald Acuna, might hear something about him later. And the Texas Rangers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Rangers take 2 out of 3. They take the first 2 games behind DeGrom, behind Kumar Rocker, Adolis Garcia. Hey, Spencer Horwitz with a big game in the final one. Tommy Pham, Brian Reynolds, they all had 3 hits. Good for the Pirates. That is what happened in the National League.
Oh, boy, Pop. I got standings. I know you need to put your hands out again. I like that.
You like when I'm a little popper boy? Jimmy likes that too. You guys have a weird fetish.
Oh, my goodness. These standings. We're going to start out east with the Philadelphia Phillies after taking 2 of 3 from the Mets. Have a 1-game lead in the division. 47-31 for them, 46-32 for those Mets. And the Braves just playing better ball as of late, but series in Miami, they're 35-41. They're 11 games back there, 7 games back in the wild card. 35 and 41 for them. The Nationals 32 and 46, and the Fish 31 and 45. In the Central, this lead's a shrinking a little bit as well. 46 and 31 for the Cubs. They're 3.5 games up on the Brewers, who just swept the Twins, as we mentioned. 43 and 35 for them. 42 and 36 for the St. Louis Cardinals. A lot of Midwest. What'd you say?
I said heart. Did I say something? Did I say something else? You gave me
No, you said heart.
Okay.
42 and 36 for them. The Reds, 2 games over 500, 40 and 38. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, 31 and 48. And then out west, the Dodgers, a 3.5 game lead on the Giants. 48 and 31 for the Dodgers, 44 and 34 for the Giants. Padres, 42 and 35. They're 5 games back. And then the Diamondbacks, 39 and 38. So 1 game over 500. The Rockies, 18 and 60. In the wild card, Jacob, we have the Mets, the Giants, and the Brewers in the wild card. So 3 different divisions there. The Padres a half game out. The Cardinals 1 game out. And then the Reds and the Diamondbacks 3 and 3.5 games out respectively. And as I mentioned, the Braves. People want to keep giving them chances. I'm going to talk about somebody later, but they're still 7 games back in the wild card. And those are the standings in the National League.
Thank you, Trevor. Well done. And let's do some Mets Phillies. I know you're jazzed up about this one because it had a little bit of everything. I mean, the Mets breaking their losing streak, but kind of not out of their losing ways. They go nuts in that second game. Rob Thomson and Castellanos. We had a benching going on earlier this week. So where do you want to go with it?
It wasn't a great series, if we're being honest. I mean, lopsided games. Some fun things happened. If you want to go into the Topper Castellanos stuff, I guess we can. He had some interesting, look, if you don't know, he got removed for a defensive replacement, didn't like it, said something, I believe, in the dugout to Topper or maybe somebody else, whatever. He said something that made Topper mad. We don't know what it was, but mad enough that he sat him, ended his streak of games started. I mean, there had to be something of measure, right? Like,
it had to be pretty.
Rob Thompson's a veteran manager. Castellanos obviously a veteran player. You don't just bench him because he says, even if he said, earmuffs, fuck this. Like, you don't bench him for something like that. He said something else. I
mean, do you think maybe it's like umpire rules whenever you make it personal? Like maybe he gave him like an FU because that might do
even
it.
If he said earmuffs again, like, fuck, Rob, what are we doing here? Like, I still don't think that's benching material.
Yeah, I don't think so either, which means he
said something, right?
He said some.
But then, Castellanos comes back the next game, makes a decent catch at the wall.
Okay.
I think he maybe made it look a little, a little better than it maybe it was. He also had he was going balls out. He understands defense hasn't been great. So there was, I believe this was on, no, this was Saturday. I was watching the game before Trump broke through and messed the whole thing up for us. But during that game, there was a ball down the right field line. And Castellanos booked it, bro. He booked it, goes into a slide, ball in the glove. And then it shoots out. And you could just tell the frustration was there because he wants to make these plays. And it was just so close for him there. But that's the whole situation. They're fine now. They've talked about it afterwards. They didn't go into detail of what was said, but the relationship is fine.
The Phillies and Trev, we talked about it a little bit beforehand. You and me, it's funny when we don't have the Monday or Friday episode. It feels like for how deep we are in it, it feels like we miss ball. I feel like we were just talking about the Phillies and how they were slumping, and I think they were like 2-10. I just saw the numbers. They were 2-10 in a stretch before they've now gone and they're 9-2. So a little bit of summer baseball and enjoying the ride.
And beating the teams they need to beat is a big series against them and the Mets. Obviously, they took over the division lead with the series win. I mean, they're getting it going. I think both these teams are right where they need to be. I was trying to think, like, is there something going on with the Mets? I know they haven't played great baseball as of late, but if you watch the series, I mean, they're fine. The one big news out of New York is that Francisco Alvarez gets sent down, and that was, I think, a lot of people. I don't know if they saw it coming, but he has been struggling. Even the one game I did get to catch was that Saturday game, and watching him behind the plate, it was too much going on. And I know like the defense hasn't been great this year. He's still throwing people out, but the defense has been kind of a little wonky as far as like framing and blocks. He's just all over the place back there. I kind of just want him to settle down and give a target. That was my perspective, at least. Then the offense really hasn't been there either. So they're going to give him a little breather down there in AAA. I'd assume this is like a 2-week, hey, let's go get right. Let's work on some things, and he'll be back.
Yeah, get your bearings a little bit for the guy. 25 homers as a 21-year-old. And then, it's been a little clunky. So that's a storyline to watch for the Mets, and they're trying to shake their losing ways a little bit. 7 in a row. They lose this series. Let's see how they bounce back from it. Trev, Red Sox, Giants, man. I mean, this is... Baseball doesn't always have this because to have a superstar traded, a star in Devers, don't need to get into the semantics with people right now, go up against his former team, and then you got him and Chapman at the end of the game, and they give the dueling head nod at the same time. Doesn't get much better than that. Giants bounce back the rest of the weekend. They take 2, and hey, man, that final game, Trevor, this is going to excite you because I love the dueling head nods. That's so perfect.
Do that again.
That's so perfect. That's such...
Love that.
I mean, this is a duel. This is instead of 1800 shooting people with guns, this is what we do now.
Gosh, that's so cool,
perfect.
Man.
Dude, the Red Sox defense, Trev, I'm not doing a ball knower stuff on you. Did you see what they essentially lost the final game on? It's a line drive to second base.
Roman Gonzalez, yeah, I saw.
It just goes through his glove. And, we're losing games like that. That can't happen.
Yeah, I don't know if, there was a weird... Was it a sun ball? I don't know if it was high enough to be a sun ball. It was bright out there. I don't know. But, yeah, you got to make the catch, man. I'm trying to maybe stick up for my guy there. But defense has not been the... Well, I mean, they got some guys that can go get the ball, but the infield defense has not been great for the Red Sox this year. I think that's an understatement. Tough one. I mean, look, it's going to happen throughout the year. It looks bad. And this is a huge series. I mean, for Devers, in that Saturday game, had the big knock to put him ahead early. He ends up scoring a big run in that Sunday game. He gets the victory, hits a homer, gets the series win. He's going to start playing first base. It's all coming up Devers as of right now. Great backside homer off his guy Bayo. I think for him, he's probably a little nervous to see how this series was going to go. But San Francisco's been great, giving him standing ovations. Almost every single time he comes up to the plate. It's been pretty awesome.
Looks good in the Giants uni.
He does.
I was wondering. You never really know, especially with. As Big Papi called him, out of shape. Yo.
So I think that's we haven't really talked about this.
Let's get juicy. Let's get the baseball gossip going.
Well, Papi's been showing text messages, and he's been
receipts,
very much taking the Red Sox side on this one. Calling him out of shape in spring training. And I want to be like, Papi.
Papi, you can say a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, does that matter? This is baseball. If you're a big boy and you hit, you hit. And Devers, guess what he can do? He can hit.
Yeah.
It's weird. He's flipped. I don't love that aspect of it for Papi. I understand who his allegiance is, who writes his checks. You really need that check, Papi. But to flip like that is interesting to me. I'm not a big fan of, and maybe there's some stuff underneath the surface that we don't know. Maybe Devers and him just really never had the relationship that he thought.
Right.
So it's been interesting. I don't think it's a great look for Ortiz. As much I get this right now, as I travel with the team, I want to be one of the guys. I'm not one of the fucking guys, dude. I'm just not. I'm media, and I still am. I have a great relationship with all the players. I talk when they need me. They come to me. They use me as a resource when they need it. But at the end of the day, you're not in the game anymore. These guys are in it. You're not. So you have to kind of back off. Just my 2 cents.
Yeah, and if you're the Red Sox, it's not a lost weekend. Brian Bayo is 4th straight quality start. You guys have needed more pitching. Wheelier is back. So, yeah, you would have liked to win the series. You would have liked to catch that Romy ball. But, hey, Trev, maybe there's something. The Giants 15-2 in home day games. So maybe there is a little voodoo going on there.
They win a lot of one-run games. They have 19 one-run victories. It's 4 more than any other team. This is a fun one. I have this stat up right here. How about this? It's a roller coaster of a season for the Giants. Okay. The first 38 games, 24-14. That's really good. Next 23 games, 9-14. Next 7 games, 7-0. Last 9 games, 3-6. It's just been. But the offense, broke out a little bit in this series. Adames had a nice homer too. Elliott's been kind of going the entire year. They are a scary team. Buster Posey seems like he's on a fucking mission to go out and win the division and go far in the playoffs. He's had that taste 3 times. That's all he knows, Coach. That's all he knows. Expect them to be huge, huge players at the deadline.
Yeah. Yeah, I just clicked on Devers Baseball Reference and the MLB trade rumors popped up. Giants and Yankees keeping a close eye on IKF. Okay. Been there.
Yankees want him back?
We need a third baseman.
You guys ran him out of town. If I'm IKF, I go like this. No.
He's a fine third baseman. You
guys made him very upset. That's not nice because he's a nice guy.
Off the record, there's some Yankee fans that wouldn't mind seeing him at shortstop these days. Anyways, go check out Talkin Yanks for your Yankees updates. Trev, do we hit the Shohei button quick? Like he's pitching. Are you seeing anything? He does 1 inning again. So, it's just awesome. It's awesome to remind baseball fans why he's so special. Going out there, and the stuff is elite on the mound. You mentioned his K. We gave snaps for that, but he also had a great game offensively. We can't just don't have Judge or Ohtani fatigue, guys. Just really enjoy what we're seeing. I think that is my message. Almost every time we talk about Ohtani now, it's just he's so good. But a lot of things in life, and I've actually had this thought a ton lately. Nothing impresses anybody anymore. Wow.
It's so hard to impress people these days because on your phone you see everything. Right. Nothing's impressive, dude. I feel like now there are times where I get this on social media too. I was a big leaguer, 9 seasons, right? That's a pretty cool accomplishment when I really sit back and think about it. But people think you sucked as a big. What do you know about baseball?
Right.
I'm not impressive to anybody because I'm not the best there ever was.
Right.
It's so hard to impress people now that I think they're getting lumped into that as well. Nobody cares. You could do the coolest thing in the world, but I saw that on the internet already.
Right.
Doesn't matter. So let's just try not to lump those two guys into what we're seeing in society.
Wow. Fucking heavy.
Do you know what I'm talking about, though? You never have those thoughts?
I do, all the time. I love those thoughts and those conversations. That's why I'm impressed by you, Trev. Because how many guys can play ball and yuck ball like you? I think you're one of one.
That is true. I can yuck ball with the best of them.
Saw Dexter Fowler at Fanatics Fest. Nice guy. We had a nice chat.
I think Dex and I are about to be real close.
Whoa.
Well, he's friends with Devontae Adams.
Okay.
He's really good buddies.
So
I'm assuming our football season's paths are going to cross a lot.
I think we're too slutty. Speaking of, I actually do have something I have to put on the people. I got a DM from Jimmy Herget, Rocky's reliever. And he said, we've had a couple DMs. He's a golf guy. He swung by the office. He said, we need to spread the word about making Hunter Goodman an all-star. He's leading all catchers in offensive numbers. So so now I'm paying it forward, trying to use our platform. Let's give Hunter Goodman some love. And Trev, if you want to have one more deep society talk, did you see Ryan Day in Colorado?
My guy Spilly put it together, yeah.
we're losing our minds, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Have all the Ryans meet up at the ballpark? Like, I don't know. I don't want to hate on it, but also, what are we doing?
I don't even know. I was going to say, like, what if something crazy happened? The Ryans all got together, short-circuited, and just started going nuts.
I mean, that's
like
kind of what happened. Like, Trev, you want to know, if you want to get dark for a second, I'm picturing the Rockies owner being like, okay, guys, instead of putting a good product on the field to get people in the stands, let's get creative. Oh, how about we start a Ryan Day?
Well, it wasn't him, but
Ryan McMahon homers.
You know what?
I
don't know any Ryans that I don't like. So I think Ryan could be like one of those names. We're like, all right, yeah, Ryans are cool.
I think my favorite part about it is they had a firm no Bryans rule. So
that's good. Spilly is a funny guy. I do want to get into Reds Cardinals.
Do it.
A little bit, because I think the Cardinals deserve a lot of love.
They're still here.
The Reds have done some stuff.
They're both still here.
Excuse me?
They're both still here. Like, they are a part of this season.
Yeah, and we keep referencing, what we thought about this season for the Cardinals, like where they were going to land and how they were going to perform and like what kind of roster they had set up, and seems like everybody wants to stay there. Nobody wants to go. The guys that have no trade clauses are saying we don't want to be traded, and they're playing that way as well. Second game, Arenado, you mentioned the big, the Midwest, what'd you call it?
Heart. There's a lot of heart on the field.
Hits the homer to tie it. Your guy Pozo?
Yeah.
With a nice little helicopter hack right there. And then, yeah, you mentioned Walker kind of like lumbering around the bases. That was like if you hit a walk-off single and I had the score. Like it was pretty slow there. He's a big boy.
He's long. Him and Pozo bringing different things to the table body-wise.
This was awesome. We were showing it for our podcast, only showing Arenado's homer. He hit it. He knew it. It was great. The intensity that he plays with is almost unmatched.
Dude,
it's just kind of his MO.
If this video keeps rolling to him coming around home plate, like, I don't know, man. There's something to baseball about keeping the same energy every day. But I mean, look at that, man.
Fired up, bro.
Let's go. It's a baseball town. That's Nolan Arenado. He's basically done almost everything you can do in this sport. And here he is in a June game, just as hype as you can be. I love it.
He's a freaking leader, dude. It's awesome to see that. So the Cardinals have been playing great baseball. They're right there. I think we've been shouting our guys out at Foul Territory for a while now. They had Ollie Marmol on asking him about like, how does it feel to be the most hated manager? He didn't really have a great answer for it. I don't think he was too stoked. He's like, well, ask my players and then get back to me. I'm like, that's okay. Like, I understand that. Guys like playing for you. That's all that matters. On the Reds side of this, some good performances there. We got to get Andrew Abbott to the All-Star game. Okay. His overall numbers are insane.
I'm good with that.
You know what? I love me a crafty lefty.
Yeah.
It's a dying breed, but also it's never going to die.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Life finds a way. Yeah.
Like if you're a lefty that can change speeds and throw strikes, you're going to be an effective pitcher in the big leagues, and there's just nothing that anybody can do about it. As much as we want to have every single guy snorting pre-workout and throwing as hard as they can, there's still going to be the crafty lefty that gets the job done just the same. And guess what? Probably won't have to have TJ every 3 years. Like, I love this brand of baseball. On the year, Jake, 13 starts, a sub-1 whip, 0.956, a 1.79 ERA. So you old dorks that still like ERA, I'm one of them, he's absolutely dealing.
Jose Quintana in Milwaukee has a 2.98 ERA this year.
I saw that too. Yeah,
you can get guys out a lot of different ways. And I'll be interested. Man, oh man, Cubs-Cardinals. Talk about Midwest heart.
Yeah, a 4-game set too. They have not played yet this year, Jake.
4-gamer that NL Central could look a lot different in a couple days. I guess in either direction. I don't want to knock the Cubs down because they have been great this whole year, but dude, if the Brewers, Cardinals, and potentially Reds get brought in the mix, a division that we kind of chalked up as go Cubs go and we'll see the rest of you later could be a very different tone throughout the summer.
Okay.
Let's what do you got?
Anything else you want to hit? Padres take 2 or 3. Nando with the big home run. I think that the game.
Okay.
Was it when did Jack Caglione rob Jack Samaro? Was that game 1?
I think that was game 2 in my head.
We're looking.
Let's see. Caglione. It was game 3. It was yesterday.
Oh, okay. That was awesome.
Yeah, nice catch from the big boy getting adapted to his new position. We love that.
Oh, yes. Okay. Now I got my games mixed up there.
It's okay.
Even the play to end game 3, Iglesias, I think he drove in all 3 runs here. Fielder's choice to end the game. Bobby, if we can pick up that, Arise scores. Bobby Witt was so close to making one of the most incredible plays you're ever going to see at shortstop. Do we have that play up?
We
can. I'd love to see it. Ball infield in, ranging to his left, kind of catches the hop here and just does a crazy jump spin throw. And I think if the throw was online, they might get a rise, but he pulls it just a little bit because he's 360ing in the air.
It is. The fact he's got an attempt at it is insane. I love a Rise celebrating a
Rise I'm so fast.
Yeah,
so fast.
Yeah, dude, you were amazing. Yeah, hey, good for the Fathers. Royals, again, it's been a tough little bit. Padres were in a rough stretch there. Hopefully this can bring them out of it. Salvi pissed on a ball, which I like seeing that. And then, the only other thing I really had from this series is the name John Rave cracks me up. I was going to say there's parts of Denver that I'm known as John Rave. But that was we
don't need to go there,
That was a different life ago.
Shout out Randy Vasquez.
4th of July, I'm thinking about letting it eat a little bit. I haven't done a show in a while. We'll see. There's so much. And we're going to talk about a chunk of it coming up in the rest of the show. Let's move on to standout performances.
It's time for Standout Performances.
Standout Performances. This guy stood out for Trev.
Say what?
Standout Performances is brought to you by Hims. We're talking about who is Hims. Hims is Hims. If ED is getting you down, you need Hims. Get your confidence and other things back up. Hims provides access to treatments that can help you stay hard and last longer so you can be ready whenever the mood strikes. It's changing men's healthcare by providing you with access to affordable sexual health treatments from the comfort of your couch. Process is 100% online. There's no need for uncomfortable doctor's visits. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/talkin. That's Hims, HIMS.com/talkin. The products mentioned are chewable, compounded products which are not approved by or verified for safety and effectiveness by the FDA. Prescription require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Prices vary based on product and subscription plan. Trev, who stood out for you, big dog?
I am going with an AL Central rival of mine, and I'm going Riley Green, not the country singer, Jake, who you fell in love with, I've heard.
Living in a one-horse town. No.
Riley Green, the baseball player, goes 3 for 3 with 2 homers, 4 runs driven in. It was in an L to the Rays, but I got to thinking, I know Riley Green's having a good season. Just how good is it? I went to his stat page, and Jake hitting right in the middle of that Tigers order, 3rd, 4th, depending on the day who's pitching against him. The guy is hitting 291. He's got 17 homers already and 59 runs driven in. 59.
Right.
An 875 OPS. He's entering elite status. 144 OPS plus, dude. We're talking career numbers for him, like standard career numbers. I have to get him up again. Sorry, I just lost him.
You're good.
I mentioned 59 runs driven in. His season high in the career is 74. That was last year when he was an all-star. 24 homers, 74 runs driven in. That's career highs for him. He's got 17 and 59 already this season. He's turned into 24 years old still. I feel like he's been around the block. 24 years old, right in the middle of that fucking lineup, dude. Tigers look great. And I love his swing. It's just a straight up. Jason Benetti has he's one of the best, has great calls on him, just calls it like the Tiger uppercut. And it's exactly what it is. I mean, it's like, I think it was Guile in Street Fighter. Wow. If you got him down, he would get on the ground and then do this uppercut punch. I think it was Guile. Wow. Shout out America. He was like the soldier. Samesies, Yeah. Riley Green and Guile.
That's what everyone was thinking. So I'm glad you said it. I told you, and this is just dumb Jake brain stuff, but we've hit the point of the season where the guys who are balling out have nice year-long season stats. Like James Wood has 21 homers and 57 RBI. And if we went into next year's PPPs and we're like, oh yeah, that's a pretty solid year from James Wood. And it's like, oh shoot, it's June.
It's June 23rd, yeah.
That good for Riley Green. Nice catch over the sidewall in Tampa.
Decent catch. I don't know.
He oversold it.
Because you go over a wall doesn't mean it's a great catch.
He oversold it just a little bit. It's a nice catch.
Job.
It's a nice
good job
catch.
On the pageantry, okay? I just gave him a big compliment. Just relax.
Trev, I'll be honest with the people because that's all I got. If I don't have that, I've got nothing. I wanted to give my award to Clark Schmidt, who basically went 7 innings no hit against the Orioles. And then, I'm calling myself out because some people are, oh, Jake, you talk about the Yankees. Don't do that here. Go do that at Talkin' Yanks. Clark Schmidt, a stat popped up on my page that of AL pitchers over the last 2 years with 150 innings pitched, ERA, which we still like as our old heads. Number 1, Tarek Skubal. Yep, that checks out. Number 2, Clark Schmidt. Clark Schmidt, sneaky been dealing the past 2 years, helped stabilize the Yankees rotation. They've needed it. Without him, I don't know where they'd be. He's starting to find he's finding length in games. That was one of the knocks on Clark. There's a lot of 5.1s, 5.2s in there. 7 innings. He's had a couple of those recently. That's been huge. So if I'm going to talk Yankees, I need to balance it out. And today I'll balance it with the rivalry because the part of my theme the rest of the episode is going to be defense. Ceddanne Rafaela is probably how a lot of you people know him. Highlight plays, just an electric ball player. Like if we came out with Coach Ball Games annual electric ball player list, I think Rafaela would be on it. My guy's been hitting. He's not my guy. I'll take that back. Ceddanne Rafaela's been hitting. Over his last 71 at-bats, 338, 373 with a 592 slash going on. And with the way he plays defense, when I saw these stats, Trev, I was like, okay. I mean, he has to be a guy who's racking up some WAR, right? 2.6 B WAR. Like that's on pace for a 5 WAR season, which is an elite high-level baseball player. And he's hitting right now, he's at a 99 OPS plus. If he stays there, he's a 5 WAR player. If he starts hitting at like a 110, a 115, you're looking at a 7 WAR potential guy, which that's rare air.
That homer we're just showing right now was an absolute missile, too. Center field in San Francisco. Sheesh.
I mean, some guys.
That's kind of like what I'm talking about, people not being impressed with anything anymore. Oh, 5 WAR season. Do you have any idea how hard it is to have a 5 WAR season? Right. Oh my gosh, go look at how many 5 WAR seasons there are a year. If I had to guess, and Robbie, I need you to get on this, dog.
This is awesome. I want to get in on this one.
2024, how many 5? Let's just go B WAR.
I'm getting in on this one. I want
5 B WAR seasons. How many? I'm going to guess right now. And there's 30 teams in baseball.
Facts.
I'm gonna guess 22 people in all of the game had a 5 WAR season, and I feel like I'm overshooting it a little bit.
Wow. Okay. According to Perplexity, in the 2024 MLB season, there were 21 players who posted a B WAR of 5.0 or higher.
It's not that impressive, bro.
And Trev, so I went to F4 just because I know how to search Fangraphs a little quicker to find that. Last year in F4, there was 18 hitters who were 5 WAR or higher. So, that's less than 1 per team. Quick math.
Good math right there.
So, yeah, if the Rafaela breakout is happening, Because, man, and he's, like you said, dude, center field in San Francisco, like he's got speed, he's got juice, he plays defense. He's an electrician on the field. So there's a lot of good options for standout. Little rivalry from myself. I think the other guys I want to talk about, I think we're going to see him on Fuego.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
Corona's in Fuego on Monday. I think in Minnesota it's legal, but they don't have dispensaries yet. There's a weird something going on here. I don't know what it is. I don't partake.
Right.
We're going to talk about some guys that I'm excited to talk about. Donovan Solano, Donnie Barrels being one of them. 9 for 14 in the series, a double, 2 homers, 3 consecutive 3-hit games. He had a career high 5 runs driven in on Sunday. Eugenio Suarez joins the 300 homer club. Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
7 for 13, 3 homers in the series. He became the 3rd Venezuelan-born player to reach 300 homers. That is rare air, bro. There's been some Venezuelan ballers in this league.
What's in his basement?
Miguel Cabrera, 511 homers, and Andres Galarraga, the big cat, 399. Oh, that stinks. 399. How many? I want to know how many games he had after his 399.
Trev, now you're being part of the problem with society.
I don't mean it stinks like it's not good. I mean, like, dude, I want to know how many games he had left with 399 because he was trying to get to 400.
Andres Galarraga. I'm looking into it.
And Suarez not only entered the 300 home run club, Jake, 67 runs driven down the season that leads Major League Baseball. Yelly, my good buddy, who actually showed me up for dinner. I had a dinner plan with him and Reese Hoskins. We're like, let's go to dinner. And I was like, I got you guys. Let's go. They called me up after the game. Hey man, like it was like 95. Heat index was like 100. I'm super tired, man. I'm sorry. Like we got called a rain check. Come see us tomorrow in the clubhouse. It was fine.
Yeah.
It hurt a little bit.
Is it?
For being honest. 8 for 14 for Yelly. I mean, he just absolutely torched us. 10 runs driven in. He had 8 in one game without a homer. He was close though. A couple doubles. One was just off the wall. First player in Major League Baseball history, though, Jake, to have 8 runs driven in and no runs scored, though. That's actually a crazy stat. For the week, Byron Buxton, I'm glad we're getting to mention him here because he's just been an absolute menace. 9 for 23, 6 homers, Jake. And of course, because it's the Twins right now, 6 homers. How many runs driven in, Jake?
69.
6.
Oh.
6 runs.
That's tough. I'm clicking around Andres Galarraga stuff, so I'm not with you right now.
He had his 4th leadoff homer this season on Sunday. It's his 13th leadoff homer of his career. He passed Dan Gladden for 5th in franchise history in that regard. He's been going off, playing crazy defense. He deserves to be in Atlanta. Our guy Mickey Moniak went 8 for 23 with 4 homers during the week. His .821 slugging percentage leads all of baseball. That's since May 25th. Go Mickey Moniak, got a boy. Bo Bichette having a really good year. Don't know if you've seen his numbers, Jake. 11 for 27. That's a 407 average during the week. 3 homers for him. Alec Burleson, 10 for 26. He also had 3 homers during the week. Nick Kurtz, it's happening. 8 for 27. 4 of those were for home runs. He had his 5th homer in 6 games on Friday. He became the first ace hitter with 5 homers in 6 games since Chris Davis with a K in August 2018. If he gets going, that A's offense has a potential to be very, very special. And some pitchers who shoved. Love doing this. You mentioned Payante. Andre Palante. 6 innings pitched, no earned runs. He's got a 1.93 in his last 7 starts and 17 appearances against Cincinnati. Jeffrey Springs of the A's threw a career high 7 1/3 innings pitched with only 1 earned run. Luis Ortiz for Cleveland. He tied his career high at 10 Ks and 6 innings pitched. Landon Roop of the San Francisco Giants. He's gone 6+ shutty in 4 of his last 7 starts. This one was 6 innings pitched, no earned runs for him. Slade Ciccone, Cleveland starting pitcher, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. His 7 shutout innings pitched was just the second time a Cleveland starter has done so this season. The last time was Tanner Bybee on May 22nd. Jake, that's who shoved. That's the people who are in Fuego. Tell us, who are some of the guys who are on the struggle bus?
Hey man, you've been struggling lately. It's time to pick it up.
Let's pick these guys up. Trev, fantastic job, by the way. First guy, a guy that I have no doubt will be off this list, but it just shows how baseball goes sometimes. Jesus was a carpenter. Carey, 2 for his last 33. That's 061. And really struggling with runners in scoring position this year. The lowest batting average and OPS with at least 120 total plate appearances. So it's not what you want, and it's not what you expect out of, one of the game's best hitters when he's right. Matt Shaw for the Cubbies. Hard hit rate of 8% on inside pitches. That's lowest in MLB this year. Okay, let's work on that. I'm not saying you got to tweak the stance, but I'm interested, Matt Shaw. Denzel Clark. A little more of a tease. You're going to see some of him in a little bit. The glove is working overtime. The stick is not. 5 for 35. Only one multi-hit game in June. Jung-Hoo Lee. Okay, 5 for 43. Struggling with pitches in the zone. Same. Mookie Betts. My God. 8 for 49. Hitting 121 against starting pitchers the past 2 weeks. Bad formula. Hey, I'll tell you what. Pretty good week to be on batters who are struggling. Like I'll get lumped in with Mookie, Kerry Carpenter, JHL. And those guys are going to come off that list. So I'm not worried about it at all. The IL. So we're going to bring it down one last time before we really pick it up at the end. I'm hype. And I just got some Andres Galarraga info that might blow people's minds. Placed on the IL, Ivan Herrera for St. Louis, a left hamstring. Interesting. Wide timetable.
For this series, too.
Yeah, big timetable because you don't really know with a hamstring. Could be 2 weeks, could be like a month and a half. So that's definitely something to watch in Cardinal land. Jorge Soler, a little solar power. Low back acting up for Georgie. Jake, how's your burger for Texas? Left oblique. Send the DM, Trev.
Got it.
Send the DM. Adley Rushman, I believe this is his first IL stint. He's got the oblique too, so you got to get active.
I'm going to have a seminar about obliques.
Get active.
Yeah.
Chris Sale, fractured rib cage. Uh-oh. I mean, Braves...
He did it on a defensive play.
It was that dive? It was,
Yeah.
Jesus, man. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of cage.
No, there's not a lot of cushion there.
Not
No.
a lot of cage for those
Pretty
ribs.
skinny guy.
Hunter Dobbins will never be a Yankee. Right elbow strain, 3 to 4 weeks, maybe the minimum. We'll see. Ryan Yarbrough for my Yanks, right oblique, Trev. So yeah, you gotta tighten it up with the
I'll do like
fellas.
a Zoom webinar. Okay, how about that?
A weekly oblique Zoom webinar. Hey, returning from the IL, Wheeler Abreu, shouted him out. Sam Long, money long in that Royals bullpen. Nathan Lucas for your Jays. It's a fun one. Luke Riley for Seattle. Luke Weaver for our Yankees. Jackson Merrill. Baseball's better when Jackson Merrill's in it. And Brian doing some hoeing in the bullpen. That's who's back. Can we start off everyone's week?
Awards!
Shout out to Kelsey Wingard and those LSU Tigers again for getting it done. And shout out to the DraftKings Sportsbook because, people, it's baseball season. The other stuff's done. So get in on the action with DraftKings. It's heating up on and off the field. There's no better time to jump in with our partners and friends at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, new customers who bet $5 will get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Boom. That's it. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use our promo code JMBaseball. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code JMBaseball only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Trev, before I kick to you, for all of our baseball losers, and I say that in an endearing way because I am one, go check out Andres Galarraga's baseball reference. You know I love a guy that plays forever, and you were asking, when did Andres Galarraga get his last homer? Andres Galarraga played 7 games in 2004 as a 43-year-old.
From 19 85?
From 85 to 04.
Wait, hold on.
And
that's 3 different decades.
Yeah, those are different. You're playing against, like, I mean, it's one of my favorite games is to play who you played against. Like, this is crazy. I mean, this is like Miggy Cabs and Mickey Mantle. That's not right, but bold on the page, batting title. It's led the league in hits, doubles, homers, RBI, Gold Gloves, ton of MVP votes. And then Trev, I started digging a little more because I was like, wait, why do you only play 7 games? Because he hit in those 7 games in 2004. Dude was fighting cancer, got chemo treatments, came up for a September call-up. People aren't impressed by shit anymore. Be impressed by the fucking big cat, Andres Galarraga. Holy, I texted Jolly. I said, do a video on this MFer. My God. So if that doesn't get you hyped up for awards, I don't know what will.
Shout out. 85 to 2000. Jake.
Yeah.
I was born in 86. I graduated high school in 2004. My entire life through high school, he's been in the big leagues and beyond.
Yes.
Holy crap, man.
Shout
out. I'm glad we got into that.
I love it.
I do have an award if you want to hear it.
I need it.
And yes, we're talking baseballing it up.
Oh.
This award is called Dark Have Been My Dreams of Late. And it's a reference to King Theoden in the Two Towers. He's under control of Saruman, not himself. Wormtongue is there whispering thoughts into his head, dark, gross thoughts, not letting him be the king he needs to be for the people of Rohan. But then comes Gandalf and Gimli and Aragorn and Legolas, and they come to save him. Gandalf the gray is not there. It's Gandalf the white.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets Saruman out of King Theoden's body. And it's actually one of my favorite scenes in any of the trilogy. And some of the best CGI you're going to see, because these movies were put out around the time Andres Galarraga was done playing baseball in like 2004.
Yes.
And it still plays big time if you see it. He goes from this ghostly looking figure to strong King Theoden that we're used to seeing. And one of the top lines in the entire series of books is from Gandalf to Theoden. He says, your fingers would remember their old strength better if they grasped your sword. And hands him his sword. He takes it and he's like, oh yeah, I'm King Theoden. Love that. So it's a big thing. I think I've given this award out before, but it lends itself to so many different situations. If you haven't seen The Two Towers, just go watch it. It's incredible. I am giving this award to Ronald Acuna Jr. Dark have been his dreams of late. Coming back, dealing with multiple injuries throughout his career. He didn't make his debut this year until exactly a month ago. May 23rd of 2025, he comes in. Jake, his overall numbers are astounding. He's hitting 396. This is 96 at bats now. 396. His on-base percentage is 504. His slugging percentage is 698. He's almost 4.57ing it for the 1.2 OPS plus 231. And now Jimmy has that stat that he likes to do. How many games did you do nothing? Okay, hitless games over this span. 4 hitless games, Jake, over that span of a month, okay? Only once did he have a hitless game where he also did not have a walk. We're talking about this guy has been everything that you could want, and coming back from another injury, doing it like this, it has to feel like dark have been my dreams of late. As soon as he gets his bat back into his hand, he realizes the player who he is and has just been absolutely going off. It hasn't coincided with a ton of Braves victories, unfortunately, but it has not been a Ronald Acuna Jr. problem whatsoever. He's been crushing it. They're 11-16 since he's been back, even though he's putting up those kinds of numbers. So shout out Ronald Acuna Jr. You're doing your part, big guy.
That's again, an absolute treat for some people, and I think very daunting for other people, but I'm glad how you did it.
Quick 21 walks, 25 strikeouts.
Okay. We like that.
Yeah.
We love that. Yeah, Ronnie's been balling. The Braves, man, I don't know, Trev.
Now Chris Sale out. It's
like I kind of tastefully called them dead, and people didn't love that. Yeah, right now I'm still in my, I'm coming out of my Andres Galarraga wormhole, because one of the games I love to play is like, in your early years, who did you play with or against? And then in your late years to like connect 50 years of baseball. In his first year, he played against Mike Schmidt, Vida Blue.
oh gosh,
And in his last year, he was teammates with K-Rod, John Lackey, like
Jared Weaver,
Vladdy.
No, Weaver was a draft pick. There.
So yeah, it really doesn't make sense in my head. Anyways, Trev, I feel like this might be an annual award. This might be a monthly award. I'm giving out the We Want the D award. Sure. Trev,
you know what the kids would say to that? Pause.
Pause.
I'm not a kid. I'm a grown man.
Oh wait, bet. Trev, I've told the people here, I go through, check out the MLB app, go watch the 10-minute recaps. Like, if you want to really get lost in baseball, it's a good way to see what's really happening around the league. And, a sack fly in the box score can look a lot of different ways on a baseball field. So I'm going around, I'm watching and catching up on the games. And Trev, there was so many defensive just misses. You mentioned Bobby Witt, which is on the high end. Like, that would have been a play of all plays. We talked about Adolis Garcia. He had a ball that went off his glove that would have been the third out of the inning in one of the Pirates games. Gunnar Henderson had a relay throw and that would have got Paul Goldschmidt at home if it was just up the line. I mentioned the Jordan Walker play. Like, that throw was just off the line, and it's a little frustrating, man, because it's this whole concept of we're prioritizing the bat, defense is what it is, and like, there was a lot of baseball games that could have been decided this week and weekend and this whole season if the defense was just turned up a notch. And I really don't think when we do this conversation, it's old man yelling at cloud. Maybe it is. Maybe that's just where we're at. But we always look at the Brewers, the Guardians, the teams that win without guys, and we're like, how do they do it? It's defense. Like, defense matters. And there was a couple plays that mattered. First one, I mentioned Jackson Merrill is back. And Padre fans, you're not happy we didn't talk about your series that much. That's how it goes sometimes. Jackson Merrill, back for the Padres. Obviously a difference maker in a lot of ways. In that final game, top 9, Freddie Fermin hits a 2-out double into the gap. Jackson Merrill catches it on one hop. He doesn't let it get to the wall. Turns fire. Relay throw home, which that deserves credit as well. They get the runner at home plate to keep it a 2-2 game. Drew Waters. A beautiful, just cut off, turn in the gap. Waters takes one hezzy step that might have cost him. This might have won the Padres the game. Like, if that run scores, if that throw is on the first base line, which a lot of other throws were this weekend, then it's Royals have the lead going into the ninth. Things get a little tighter. You might lose a series. You might lose a game. Defense matters. And that's why there's one other cat I just got to talk about, Trev, because I, as you know, I think, I do my annual golf trip every year with my group of OKC buddies, and everyone laughs because they're like, Jake, why do you have a group of Oklahoma City buddies? It's just, I was the 12th in their fantasy football league, and like, I worked with a guy, and now they're kind of my crew. We do an annual fantasy football draft trip every year. It's one of my favorite weekends. They're on cloud 9. The Oklahoma City Thunder won the NBA title. And like, it just ties in. They never thought they'd see their city have a sports team or have a title for years. That they're very proud and very happy, and it's the beauty of sports. The beauty of sports, and with baseball, I say this so much, center field is my 1-1. Like, I love third base and the hot corner and a great play at third base. That gets me going more than shortstop, more than first, more than a catcher throwing a guy. I love third. I love center. Center, to me, there's nothing better. And what Denzel Clark is doing, yes, he's had the Superman robberies. This catch in left center field that a lot of center fielders don't even think about catching that as a possible play. Like, you just start running to the wall. And I'm crunching the numbers on it. And Trev, you've gotten to watch a lot of Buck Daddy. And Buxton at his peak, like, he could go toe-to-toe with anyone. Denzel Clark, he's got a unique body. He's a tall guy. You don't see a lot of talls end up in center field. Listed 6'4", 220. That's like a power wide receiver. That's like a dude. And the way he is going and getting it, I haven't seen a lot of guys look like that. And yeah, he's had a couple really cool robberies this year. Something about that ball in left center did something for me. He's racked up .5 WAR this year while having a 468 OPS. My dude's not hitting. And maybe that comes, maybe it doesn't. But the way he is getting balls in the outfield, it's my favorite thing to watch in this sport. And if you're someone at home that likes watching this sport too, and you like that, you got to see this guy. And I've got another Jakey weird sports theory. He's Canadian, cousins of Bo and Josh Naylor, which I didn't have that coming into today. This is a little bit of a Jokic theory that when you grow up in a place where the sport is played differently, sometimes you play the sport differently. And something about the way he goes and gets ball in center field, it's just not the same. And I think there's a little Canadian twist in there.
I think there's a Canadian twist to Denzel Clark's center field game?
It's a developing theory. I know it's a little insane.
I got to know more about the Canadians then, because this guy's incredible.
I don't think
I don't have Canadians as like these high-flying athletes.
Well, this dude is.
I know he is.
This dude
Shout
is.
out Cal State Northridge.
Yeah, that's where he went to school. I don't know, man. That ball in left center, a lot of guys don't. They pick it up at the wall.
I was an honorary CSUN fraternity bro.
Wow.
Not in a fraternity. My friend was the president, so
That's
I
awesome,
spent
dude.
a lot of time there.
That's sick.
Go Toros. I'm a big Clark guy. Yeah, 10. He has his outs above average 10 already. It's the best in baseball. He's got sprint speed for such a big guy in the 96th percentile. So he's got the length, the athleticism, and the speed to get it done. Yeah, and if he's must watch. I mean, he's as Torrey Hunter as they come. And if you know, that's about as big of a compliment as you can get in center field. The Buxton comparison is fine. Buck is, if you get compared to Byron Buxton, guess what?
Right.
It's a really, really good thing because he can go get it too. But yeah, he's been awesome. I knew that he was struggling offensively, but he's struggling offensively.
He's struggling offensively.
He might need a little bunts, a couple of those guys.
I mean, the good news is, in theory, it should only be up from here. But man, I don't know. Like Torrey and Buck both listed 6'2". Like this guy's listed 6'4". That's a couple extra each stride, each reach. I don't know, man. Everyone's been impressed by those over the wall catches, and they should be. That ball in left center, I think if you've played the game, that's not a catchable ball. That's a double. It's a double. So I don't know. Start hitting a little bit, Denzel, just a little bit. Trev, juicy, big cat, AL MVP. Baseball's hot in the streets. We are going to be back with the midweek. Not sure. Maybe some power, some trades.
No. Family Feud.
Ho!
Jake
sucks. So?
Yeah, those coming on.
So if you want to go fill out our survey,
Yeah.
it's up right now. on
Go
Talk
fill out the
Baseball.
dang survey, people.
Also, Andres Galarraga, he sat at 399 for just one game. He hit his final home run October 1st.
I want to see his last few at bats. Was he just coming out of his shoes?